Good morning, everybody. Sorry I didn't do a video yesterday, but the day sort of started in a strange way and then got a little bit more intense from there. I'm currently in a hotel room in Hamilton because shortly I'm going to go and speak to an age concern meeting. I think it's age concern for Waikato, and they've reached out around the area to all those that are interested to hear and understand what's happening in the aged residential care sector. So yesterday I spent most of my day working on a submission for the Infrastructure Commission. Now, it's a stage one proposal. It's an attempt, it's another attempt to try and get a government agency or government ministers to recognise what is the potential of the aged residential care sector to take some of the non-urgent, non-acute pressure off our hospitals, which would release up beds and capacity for those who are acute, for those who do need planned or emergency services, to be able to get in and get those services and get a bed. So what I've put forward on behalf of the Aged Care Association is a proposal that a New Zealand government sets up an aged care infrastructure assistance program, similar to what the Australians have done. So a confined bucket of money over, let's say, the next 4 to 5 years, that is available only through application and grant, should provide what are standard beds, so beds without a premium, beds without an aura, beds without needing a whole lot of money to get into. So they can provide those beds, they can provide them in what's called thin markets, so that would be rural and regional New Zealand. Beds for low socioeconomic and mid socioeconomic New Zealanders. And if we can, and the money over in Australia can be used to maintain, can be used to enhance and expand, it can be used to build new, and it can be used to build staff accommodation. So if you're thinking about places like Wairoa or Reefton, where keeping a registered nurse inside your community for a long period of time is a challenge. You know, if you are able to build staff accommodation, what you're able to do is you're able to provide free accommodation for specific skill sets for a period of time. And that is just another bargaining chip that you have. I would love for the government to have a conversation with me about how can we do something similar to what education did for the aged residential care sector, which is that they had what was called hard to staff areas, and principals, teaching principals, would get another $50,000 on top of their base salary if they signed in for a period of time. And if we were able to implement programs like that, tried and true programs that have been proven in this country to work, or programs that have been proven to work in other nations, then we would be able to, the aged residential care sector would be able to step up into that role, start actually taking individuals in for recovery care, which means that the hospitals could move into what is the 7 discharge sort of place that they want, a 7-day discharge place they want to move into. We could start having a go at reducing those 200,000 hospital beds nights that Te Whatu Ora's very keen to do. Anyway, so that was what the most of the day was. But the first part of the day was actually based around, I had a meeting with, we're in negotiations for what's called the A21 agreement. So it's the amount that the government will recognise that services it wants to buy cost. And we try to have a conversation about this is the cost of the services you want to buy. And if you can't buy those services, then you need to remove some of the services you're trying to get for that money. Think of it as a shopping cart, right? There's a whole lot of things inside a shopping cart that the government wants our members to provide to seniors. And this is the amount of money they've got to spend. And the two things do not match. We're trying to say to them, you need to start taking things out of your shopping trolley. We're not suggesting that those seniors still don't need them. What we're saying is that if that senior was in their home and community, those things are being provided at the cost of Te Whatu Ora, who has a huge purchasing capacity, which means that they can buy them a lot cheaper than a small facility in Eketahuna, for example. And that New Zealander is still the responsibility of Te Whatu Ora, even though they've crossed a threshold into a residential care facility. So that was the first part of the day. And it's a really circular conversation because report after report after report has said that the problem is there needs to be more money invested. All of the officials know it. Government knows it. So what we need is an announcement that they know it, that they recognise it, and they've got a plan to start actually inputting cash into what is a sector that can help them take the weight off their acute services, hospitals, and can actually help them stop having to build much more expensive hospitals all over New Zealand, as another report of theirs told them they're going to have to if they don't change what they do. Okay, I'm off now to grey power. No, sorry, age concern. Bye.